What's up, YouTube?
Happy New Year!
Welcome to 2019.
Woo! So,
welcome to the channel. Today we just wanted to share our New Year's resolutions, our goals, and I'm gonna start us off first. You know, in 2019, something that I want to get better at, that I keep working on constantly, is this is gonna be the first full year I'm gonna be with my wife, married, my beautiful wife, Stephanie, and I just want to be a better student of her, the best student of Stephanie Ramirez. Like that's my goal for 2019. I want to keep working on that. I just want to improve in my husband abilities and skills and superpowers, and yeah.
And my resolutions for this year are very simple. I just want to keep digging into the word, just learning how to be a wife and becoming one all the time. And it's super exciting just to feel like you can have a fresh start to a new year, and I'm super excited about all the new things that are going to come this year, and just trusting in the Lord that He's going to do amazing things. And just I want this year to be a year of growth. I want to keep doing awesome collaborations and just doing more YouTube videos, and yeah, those are my goals. And I want to work out more.
So guys, we hope you enjoy the vlog.
Hey guys, so we are super excited about this video. What I want to start off with is to all my girls out there who are engaged or who are already planning their wedding, because who doesn't plan their wedding on Pinterest? I know I did. I had a bunch of boards on what I wanted my wedding to look like, and so that's super helpful. But something that really helped me after I got engaged to Miztli was that I found this awesome planner, and some of you guys might have seen it already on my Instagram. For those who haven't, it's called the Future Miss Planner, and it's super cute. It's like a rose gold color, and it comes with a rose gold pen, so it's super cute. You guys can see. So this planner literally helped me plan my whole wedding. I just found it super helpful. I'm very like, I need to write things down, but this planner literally just has it all for you. And then it made me think of things that I wouldn't even think of myself. So if you're that kind of person who needs to have things written down to remind you and to you feel good after checking off something, that this planner is definitely for you. And I'm going to add their Instagram profile on description box. And so if you have any more questions, let me know. Hey guys, so these first 3 questions, and also I put my hair down because my head was hurting. But anyways, so the first 3 questions are kind of directed more towards the bride. And so the first question was, who did your hair and what inspired you to choose your hairstyle and makeup? So I actually had no idea who was going to do my hair and makeup. It was a very tough thing to choose just because I'm very picky about the kind of makeup I use, and so I am not big on like really strong makeup, and so I've never gotten my makeup done before professionally, so I was like, I don't know how to even start deciding who's going to do my makeup. So what I did is I asked my photographer if she had any recommendations, and that's the thing about the people you work with, is that they're most likely are going to know someone who can do, for example, hair and makeup or videography or wedding cakes and stuff like that. So I asked my photographer, and she recommended me someone who is super amazing. Her name is Amy Patrice. She works for Beloved Beauty, and I got in touch with her, and I saw her pictures on Instagram, the way she did makeup, and I loved it. It's such a very like natural look, but also very like kind of glam and bronzy and like glittery. So those are really like important things that I was looking for, and so something that I 100% recommend. Get a trial before you like just go that day of your wedding and just get your makeup done for the first time. Do not do that. You should have a trial before, and so that's what I did. She would always change it to what I liked. But it's just, that's the cool thing about your wedding journey, is that you get to meet all these amazing people that you get to work with, and they just do an amazing job. So it helps knowing what you're looking for, and sometimes you end up meeting really awesome people. So I always knew I wanted to have like a romantic side bun, but I just didn't know, like, there's just so many ways to do a romantic side bun. So we worked through many like styles, and I found the one that I liked. Also with my makeup, same thing. We tried different eyeshadows, different eye colors and eyeliners, and my favorite thing was the eyelashes. Ever since she put eyelashes on me, I like fell in love with them. It's important to just know what you want or have an idea, because that helps your makeup artist or your hairstylist know what you're kind of aiming for, and they can work around it. So the second question is, where did you buy your wedding dress and what made you choose that dress? So I love this question because one of the most awesome things is when you say yes to your dress. And it's just one of those things you just grow up always like dreaming of, the day that you choose your wedding dress. And for me, it was truly an amazing experience I will never forget. So the way I started with wedding dress shopping is that I read reviews online with local Dallas wedding boutiques for dresses, and I just read reviews. I even looked at the way the store looked from the inside, because I really wanted my experience to be very special. And so I came across a boutique that had really great reviews. Like, customers just loved the way they worked, and so that's something that I look for. And so I ran into Lulu's boutique in Dallas. The first day I arrived, everything was so smooth. So I took my mom and my future mother-in-law at that time, and so we started off with explaining to the lady what I was looking for in a dress, what my budget was, and so she had an idea of what I was looking for. I always knew that I wanted my neckline to be like, I'm not sure what it's called, but if you see my wedding dress, that's the neckline I've always wanted, but I just didn't know what kind of style dress or color I wanted. So this lady ended up pulling like 15 dresses for me to try on. So the crazy thing is, I kid you not, the very first dress I tried on, like, literally just made me cry. It was like one of those moments where you're like, oh my god, this dress looks just, I felt like a bride just trying it on. And my mom and my mother-in-law felt the same way. They were just amazed by the way this dress looked on me. I felt really beautiful, and I love the neckline, because I don't know, I've always loved that kind of neckline, but I've never ever had a dress like that. And so for it to be my wedding dress and to have that kind of neckline, it just kind of like was perfect timing. And I just couldn't like help but start crying and get emotional, because that's the moment when you're like, wow, like this is what I'm gonna look like when I get married to my best friend. And you really have to feel like the dress is meant for you. And so after that, the lady was like, okay, I can tell you love that dress, but let's keep trying on the rest just to make sure. And so I was like, okay, that's a good idea. I'll keep trying on the rest of the dresses just in case. And I did, but I kept coming back to that very first dress. And so I just love telling this experience to people, because it's like the very first dress I tried on was the dress that I ended up choosing. And it was just an amazing experience. And it was also within my budget, so that was even better. And also, this is a very special thing for me because my dad gifted me this dress, and so it's something that I want to keep, you know, just as a very like sentimental thing for me to keep for the rest of the years. And if my future little daughter ever wants to wear my dress, and it's available. But I mean, it's just something that's gonna mean so much to me for the rest of like my life. And yeah, so that was my experience at Lulu's Bridal Boutique. And so the third question is, how early did you get your dress altered? So this is a very good question as well, just because what I didn't know is that you just have to start really early with pretty much everything when it comes to wedding planning. But I was very fortunate enough to have a family friend alter my dress, and so there was really no rush to having it altered early. But I know that you really have to start early. I would say as early as possible. I would say probably more than like 4 months out before your wedding, just to be sure, because you would much rather be sure than like just be anxious and waiting for your dress to come in while it gets closer to your wedding date, and you do not want to go through that on top of all the stress that you're already going through. And so I believe I got my dress altered like 2 months before my actual wedding date, and also it was altered just in time for my bridal portrait. And so you also want to keep that in mind. If you are planning on taking bridal portraits, you should probably have your dress altered months in advance, because depending on your photographer, you don't know their availability to schedule your bridal portrait, also the location that you'll be taking your bridal portrait. There's just a lot of little things that you need to check, a lot of like timelines that you need to be aware of to decide when you need to have your dress altered. And of course, that deciding factor is dependent on when you purchased your dress, because when you first purchase your dress, the dress is not available for you right then and there. You must wait probably about maybe a month or so to get your wedding dress. So yeah, just be very like aware of these things and make sure you plan ahead. Do not procrastinate on getting your dress altered. So yeah.
So the next question, how did we budget for the wedding and honeymoon, and how much was our budget?
Very good question.
Yes,
so a lot of you guys know sometimes people just go overboard on their wedding, and that's totally normal. I mean, you want that day to be as special as possible, but a lot of the times I'm sure we get carried away and we're like, okay, I need this, I need that, but you really have to be smart about it. And the first thing Miztli and I did is that we kind of set a limit that we would not pass, and so we went from there, and then we decided what would be our priority when it came to the wedding, like what we really wanted to spend more on. We really did do a lot of research on what is mostly important when it comes to weddings.
Yep.
And so we kind of made a list. Okay, well, we want to spend this amount on this, we want to spend an estimated amount for this. And so we just went from there and we followed through. We stayed within budget, and yeah.
And so our total budget that we decided on before we even started looking at venues, before we started looking at different things for the wedding, we did not want to pass the total amount of $10K.
Yeah.
And so I think we did a good job doing that.
Yeah, we did.
So,
what were your top 3 most important wedding expenses?
So that one was a really good question. I feel like we both decided on it. We both agreed on it. And for us, the number one thing was the video. Why? Videography for us was a good way to document everything for us, for anniversaries, for our family, for our future family. And so that we just wanted to keep that memory close to us.
Yeah, and another one was photos, so photography. That's just one of the other things that we research is what is like the most important thing usually to get out of a wedding, and it's just the memories really. Like you only have a wedding once, and after that you can say it was the most amazing day, but you want to have like those memories, for example the video of your special day, and then as well as pictures. So
you need proof.
Yeah. And then the third one would be for us was the venue.
The venue was super special.
I think that I already knew where I wanted to get married at, and so I just loved what the venue offered, especially for the wedding ceremony. It was everything I ever wanted. It was like white space, big open windows, natural light.
The cross in the middle.
Yeah, that was like really the thing that I just like made me like I want that venue. So yeah, those are things that we prioritized, but yours could definitely change. That doesn't mean you have to stick with these, but just really do your research and see what's mostly important to you.
Yeah, and so that's literally where our budget kind of built around. So question number 6, did either of you cry, and when did you cry the most? So that one was good. Like if you know me personally, I'm not that emotional, but when the doors opened and I saw my future wife, or my bride-to-be, my wife-to-be walk down the aisle, like it almost feels like you're gonna fall forward on your face type of thing. And so for me, like just seeing how beautiful she looked and just
thank you,
so elegant and graceful, it's a feeling that like you can't describe it. You can't. And The second part was our vows. I think just
that was also mine.
like just saying them, hearing her vows, like it.
I think that's the very like emotional part of your wedding, is when you're being joined to become one. And so that was for me very emotional, especially stating my vows to Miztli. That was very like emotional, and just kind of like the day is finally there. And also I just remember we did a first look, but we weren't seeing each other. So there was like a door outside the venue, and we just held hands and we prayed together before we entered the ceremony. And so to me that was also very special, just knowing that we had that like intimate moment together and just prayed for our wedding and for our marriage. And yeah, so that was very special to us too. Did you both write your own vows? I love this question. Whoever sent this, thank you. So we had decided that we were gonna do traditional vows. Honestly, it just seemed like the easier way to do it.
It was gonna be more smooth.
Something just kept tugging at my heart, like no, that day is super special to us, and we just have something so special that I would not want to like repeat something and not have my own words. And so I would say maybe like 2 months before our wedding, we decided we were going to do our personal vows.
And that had me sweating. Like I was nervous. I'm not a writer. I was like, and especially like the guy perspective of the husband to be, it's like, what if she writes more than me? Like how's it gonna look if I don't write enough? And
yeah, and it's a little hard because you're gonna express your love to your future husband, your future wife. So you wanna make it perfect. So I will say it was a lot of stress writing our vows, but it was worth it. I would not change a thing about that. It just makes it even more special to look back and know that we wrote our own vows. And we also bought really cute like vow books, and we wrote our vows there and just read them that day. So,
yeah, and it was really special to do that in front of all our guests.
Yeah.
Our parents, and ultimately it's a promise that we made to each other in front of Christ. So
it's very special. Important.
The next question: how much time did you have to plan the wedding, and how much was your guest count?
So we got engaged on November 25th, 2017, which is also Miztli's birthday.
Of course.
So I would say we wouldn't count November. We would just count from December on until what, June?
June.
Yeah, so it was a total of 6 months?
7 months.
6-7 months, yeah.
And we actually planned the wedding for 150 people.
Yeah.
The time frame, we just wanted a short engagement.
Yeah,
to be honest. Like we just wanted to be married already.
Yeah, so that's another thing you guys should definitely consider. If you need more time and you need like a year or so, that's totally fine. But also make sure that you don't forget to plan, because sometimes you kind of have that time where you're like, okay, I need to keep wedding planning. Honestly, that's how we felt in those months. We were just wedding planning all the time.
All during the week, all weekend.
Yeah. And so when we got the time to actually enjoy our engagement, those were very special moments to us. But yeah, it just depends when you are, like your budget, the time frame that you are looking for. So yeah. How did we come up with the wedding date? So I knew that I always wanted a summer wedding. I just love summer. Summer is my favorite season ever. And so we decided to choose June 20th. July 20th, I'm sorry. See, I'm so confused. Anyways, we chose July 20th. I think I would say just because it was a little bit towards the end of the summer. The venue was available that day. And so it was either we choose a wedding date that was a little bit more like later on or sooner. But we chose July 20th just because it was like the perfect, like not summer, like in the middle of the summer or not even fall. It was just kind of like the perfect place.
Yeah, and something that we also took into mind was for the future, for vacation, when's the easiest time for you to take that anniversary trip in the future with your family, whether you include your kids in the future or not. So for us, it was just, it was ideal.
And you know what? It's also important to keep in mind, like if you choose your wedding date during holidays, it's a little tough. Like trust me, we have family members who have birthdays on like during
the week of Christmas.
Yeah, and like literally wedding anniversaries, birthdays, and all of that. Like my parents' wedding anniversary is December 20th and yours is also
December 26th, birthdays, Christmas.
Like, it's crazy. It's too hectic. But we chose the July 20th because it just kind of made sense for us, and so good
luck. So the next question is tips on planning a small wedding. And
Cool.
that one's interesting because I feel like with small weddings, you could really dig into the details. And that's something that Stephanie's super good at.
Yeah, I mean, we chose, I would say, like a mid-sized wedding. But when you have a small wedding, I would say that there's more room for intimacy with your guests. And so you have more of that intimate feeling. You do have more room for like being more specific on details. And of course, you definitely save a lot of money. But it just depends on your taste. There's really like awesome venues that have space for small weddings, and it's so awesome. Like really, it's not, yeah, it's amazing what you can do with the space that you have, the decor that you have, and yeah. How in advance did you book your honeymoon? Ooh, honeymoon questions.
This is literally most of the time, not all the time, but most of the time, it is the husband's only job. And so this one was really fun. So honestly, that was like, we booked that like 6 months in advance.
Yeah.
We got into like a payment plan, so we were giving payments so it could be paid off before the wedding.
And it's awesome if you do have an idea where you're gonna go for your honeymoon, because that way you can start, ladies, planning your outfits, and like depending on the seasons, you might be able to like save money on getting summer clothes, things like that if you run into sales during the winter. So yeah, and then it also gives you time to plan like an itinerary of what you want to do during your honeymoon. I feel like that was very important for us. We loved the idea that we could have just so much fun in our honeymoon, and we're just very like
outdoorsy. You could be adventurous, romantic,
and so all of that good stuff.
And fellas, you should consider an insurance when you book that trip. And I'm just gonna give y'all from experience. In 2018 in Hawaii, that's when the volcano was erupting. So
yeah, in a different island, but still, like, could have caused flight
it can
delays.
literally cause a honeymoon to be canceled, and you want your money back. So
yeah.
Okay,
and the next question is, why Hawaii?
Why not
Hawaii? Oh my god. So I feel like we knew we wanted to go to Hawaii like since the beginning.
For sure.
I think Miztli, you've always wanted to go there since.
I've always wanted to go, but I knew it had to be with someone special.
Yeah, and like to me, I never really thought about like where, but it seemed like a place that's like super exotic and like an island, and the idea of like having an 8-hour flight was also pretty cool, because you're like, what are you gonna do for 8 hours? Also, Hawaii just really has everything for the perfect honeymoon. Like, it's super romantic, it has beautiful sunsets, literally rainbows everywhere.
The food.
Yeah, the food was amazing, and the people are amazing. And also, if you are very adventurous, if you're an adventurous couple, it has all of that for you. So you just get everything in one place.
What stores did you go to when looking for your tux? So that's the question directed to me. Yeah. I already kind of knew what I wanted, and so I just went to 3 main stores. I went to Nordstrom, I went to Men's Warehouse to check it out, and J. Hilburn. It was an easy choice because J. Hilburn was just very custom to they fit everything to you, and you can make like little small custom things. Like something I did was I put our initials with a heart in the middle.
Oh yeah, that was super, like a really nice touch.
And it's something that's just intimate to you, to both of you, your couple, because no one sees it, but you know.
Yeah, and then also the color of your tux was pretty amazing.
So yeah, you just don't find that anywhere.
That was one of my favorite moments, seeing Miztli for the first time in his tux. And if you don't know, I told him he looked like James Bond. While we were alone, I was like, you look like James Bond. And he's like, no, I look like
Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, so it was one of those funny moments during our wedding, but I felt like it really did a good job for Miztli, and yeah, they were had a great customer service, right?
Yeah, they did. Super recommended. Let me know if you need a hookup.
Question number 14 is, any tips on renting your first apartment together? That was also very fun.
That was good season.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's really depending on your budget. Like, again, just setting a budget for how much you want to spend on your first apartment. Different factors that make you like decide where you're gonna live.
Yeah, a big part of that was like our commute to work. How close were we to our family, our friends?
We wanted something very central, and so the place we chose worked, like literally fit every thing that we wanted, and so it was very central to our jobs, very close to our home church, and
so it's in a big thing to look for when searching for an apartment is look for those promotions. Like that was a big key. They were offering in our location 8 weeks free rent.
Yeah, and they were newly built apartments, so that was another like awesome thing. And a lot of the times, like, you don't really think about, should I look at like new apartments or things like that, but there's always like, I guess, different like incentives going on or different promotions that you should probably ask. And yeah, we were just blessed enough to have like 8 weeks of rent free.
Super blessed.
So yeah, it was an amazing journey, and also enjoy that time because it's literally you're creating your own little home.
Or castle.
Yeah.
The next question, how did y'all plan for purchasing everything in your apartment?
Awesome. Website with like a wedding registry. So that also played a big role for us. We were very blessed to have a lot of things gifted to us that really helped make up our little home. So we had literally everything we needed, just like the basic things like cooking things, and then later on, once we were able to reserve our apartment, we had the opportunity to come check it out before and see the space that we had in order to buy like furniture and things like that.
And it made it really easy to visualize or imagine how our, for instance, living room would look like.
Yeah.
And
so we purchased our furniture before. And we gave them like, okay, we want it delivered to our apartment by this date. And we moved in
10 days before the wedding.
Yeah. I mean, we didn't start living there till after the wedding, but we started moving in our stuff and like getting the furniture. That way, when we came back from our honeymoon, our apartment was already like ready to use. So yeah, really that's it. Just make sure you have a gift registry and have an idea of where you're gonna live to choose your furniture and everything else.
Last and final question. Tips on how to save money for a wedding.
Okay, so I'm sure a lot of you are asking this question, and it's a very important question. I would say overall is DIY, do it yourself. We literally, I mean, starting from the entrance to a little bit of decor to our little photo booth we had, everything was just bought in, I don't know, Michael's, Etsy, Target, and I created my own little like decor. It's like a wreath that said love, and then another one that said blessed. And they were really simple to do and fun.
And they look beautiful.
Yeah, and so like you can create your own photo booth by going on Etsy and like buying little props to use, and you can just get really creative like with your own wedding. Sometimes you don't need to spend thousands and thousands of dollars. You can just create it your own and just grab some friends and have fun. But also we like got little, I don't know, our initials from like Michael's and just spray painted them with like gold. Did picture frames of us for our entrance. And
there's also a really good feeling or like intimacy with that day when you actually do something with your hands for your wedding. It's really special. Yeah, it's cool. And then for example, when it came to like floral arrangements, I chose to just go with simple greenery because the venue already looked very elegant itself. And so sometimes like, if you just do like small things, like the less is more. Yeah, less is more. So don't like spend too much money on that. Try to just think of it, okay, it's the venue itself is already elegant and beautiful. Then you don't need to keep adding more things because you're just probably spending more money than you should. But yeah, definitely check out Pinterest, check out like wedding inspo profiles on Instagram. And if you need any help, just let us know. Yes. But we also just wanted to take the time and we already went to person, but just in case, just showing more appreciation, we want to thank our family members and our friends. Some of them, they gifted us with things that we did receive a lot of help. A lot of help. From the bottom of our hearts, we really appreciated that. We're going to remember that. And we were just blessed, honestly. Yeah. So really, there's a lot of things that we couldn't have done if it weren't for these people. And so we're just super grateful. And you guys know who you guys are. You guys know the ladies that y'all are. And we love you. And we hope you enjoyed this vlog and that it's informative for you guys and it helps you guys.
And please enjoy this season. Like if you're engaged or you think you're about to be engaged, I don't know. But just like, and it's good to know even if you are not, like just plan ahead. Go on Pinterest, start your Pinterest boards because that's what I did. So
start saving your money, fellas. 3, 2, 1, boom.